There we go. Okay. Hello, welcome to the second. Uh-oh, I've got an echo. Let me just fix that real quick. There we go. All right, welcome to my second developer live stream. I don't think we have any questions already lined up, but I'm going to double check. No, we don't. So if you join and you have any questions, feel free to just toss them in the chat. I think I've got one on the Discord. I've got one up on Twitch. I will answer questions from both. In the meantime, I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the stuff I've been working on. A lot of it, I've been doing a lot of stuff in the background, so a lot of like tweaks to performance and stuff like that. But as you can see, I've also done some large changes and overhauls to the actual layout and what it looks like. And actually, it's funny that I started looking at this because I didn't realize that I had some inconsistent layout. So let's start with the regular character sheet. Uh, oh, that's a fun. See, this is what you don't see when you're just doing everything at the correct width. So this should handle correctly when I do this, but instead it pops down underneath. And yeah, as you can see, some of the tabs have been rearranged a little bit. There were a lot of I felt like there were just too many tabs, and I don't like, for instance, feats and talents. They didn't need their own thing. They just work as two lists, so I combined them into one. I think it looks fine. I don't know. We'll see. Um, with the new things going on with the compendiums, these buttons are probably broken at this point. Yeah, absolutely. It has no idea what to do. Oh no, actually, it's just hitting the wrong one. So yeah, okay, so it's not totally broken, it's mostly broken. Class hasn't gotten much of a change. Equipment's going to look a little different. And actually, I don't like how this is minimizing too small. So this should have a minimum size. Uh, but yeah, so general equipment there's a new thing going on here with general equipment. You've probably seen it before with the language box, and that is that it allows you to just create stuff. So if you click this little plus, it will create a new equipment item. Um, and man, some of the formatting is really strange on here. I'm gonna have to go fix. It looks like all lists have a weird quirk. So yeah, you can click this button, it'll create something. You can also go here and say something like, I want some shoes and a coat and a Pizak deck. And hit enter, and it does not work apparently. Okay, I was going to show this off. Apparently I disabled all enters, so we can fix that today though. Maybe we'll go through and figure out why it's not actually working. Um, but that's how it should be working. I did break a lot of things when I was playing around with getting this looking right, so that is probably what's going on there. Um, Feats and talents, again, simple lists. Languages, I moved over here. I thought it was a bit weird that languages were on the front page. I think I just did that because I need a spot to stick them. So they're here with affiliations. Uh, let's see. Were traits? Yeah, I think traits were always visible. Ooh, I broke something else recently. Yeah, so something weird is happening here. There should not be this many of this trait. Um, live tests always great. I have updated this now. There's an add GM bonus. So this is one of the ways. This is how you essentially add bonuses of pretty much anything to your sheet that is not like part of the normal system of upgrading and adding feats and getting feats from classes and stuff. So you can click here, add this, uh, and yeah. So you can see. Here, can I move this up here? There we go. Yeah, so you can see you can add force powers, uh, talents from any tree, any talent tree. I think that's all talent trees. Oh, okay. So they're just broken up by things. You can add health points. You can add, yeah, you can add feats from different sources. So if you want Jedi bonus feats or Jedi Knight bonus feats, they're here. Um, bonuses to defenses, number of trained skills. A lot of that is right here, and you can easily add this now. This used to be a trait you had to add, and it still is a trait, but now there's a button just to add that specific trait. So yeah, if I click that, uh, oh, cool. It apparently doesn't work. It might not be able to find the actual thing. So here we can click that. Cannot convert undefined or null object choice. Okay. So one of the parts of this overhaul were to change from attributes over to changes. They're the same thing. They just have a different name. So as you can see, it's trying to do something with attributes here. Because I've updated the compendiums with new objects, or with new items. So like the items are all slimmed down and stuff. There used to be a lot of junk HTML shoved in there, so I cleaned those up a lot. Yeah, so because I updated that, it's trying to find something here, but it can't. So we have to go add that. So what I'm going to do is actually, for now, since this is going to have to handle old objects and new objects for a while at least, we're just going to go. So if it can't find attributes, it's going to then instead look for changes. There. I don't know why it's giving me yellow. Max changes. What? What is it doing? Interesting. What is this? Okay. Well, it should. Here, let's just try to add that in debugger. Choice. Okay, so what is it trying to do? That's null. As an empty array, which makes sense. Object is trying to get the keys. Okay, so one thing about changes is they're using an array as opposed to a object in JavaScript. So I was doing weird things to make it objects act more like arrays because I didn't know how to use arrays correctly for a while with Foundry, because Foundry has some weird stuff that I didn't learn how to do yet. So this is just going to be some cleanup from that. So selected choice attributes, and object attributes length is greater than 0. Select choice attributes for each. Well, clearly I found something very broken that I did not intend to do. Keys from attributes. Oh, because this is trying to add the attribute from there. So what we want to do is just go system item system changes. Okay, so it's trying to find an index to add that to. So for each of these, we just want to go. Oh, that is not the one I can edit. Okay, let's go here. All right, so for each one, we just want to go changes. We want to go. So system changes. This is on setup, so that's fine. I don't necessarily know that changes isn't going to be null. It isn't, but I am just going to go item.system changes equals item.system.changes or empty array. That's just a way to make sure that your stuff is initialized when you don't know what the current state is. It's kind of because this system, there's parts about the system that I just didn't do a great job of making sure everything was set up correctly, and in the process of upgrading, suddenly we aren't using attributes. Now we're using changes. So those changes might not be there, but they should be there. So I'm just going to be safe about it and make sure that it equals itself or an empty array. Okay, so now we have that. We can go item dot system dot changes dot push, and we're going to go. Why would I do that? Oh well, let's just go. Actually, let's just pull this out. You don't need that in a loop. We're just going to go object.values and add them to it. There. And that should work just fine. Let's see if that works. Okay, and this does still take a little bit to run. I haven't fixed the compendiums for actors yet. My process is to go through and clean up all the items, and then I'll go through and update all of the rest. Essentially, just because the actors pull in items, so I want to make sure the items are as up to date as they can be before I set those up. Okay. Why are you not opening? Oh, it's still trying. Okay. Yeah, so this is the command to render a character sheet. So once it does that, it's trying. So essentially, you just gotta make sure it's not doesn't throw an exception after that, and you're fine. All right. So we got that. So we're gonna go back to traits. We're gonna go add GM bonus. Add. Hey, look at that. And we want a bonus of 5. And that should have added a. It did not though. What happened? I probably broke it somewhere else. Item 937. Okay. Oh, I vaguely remember what this is. Okay, so this is going to crawl through attributes and make sure that. What does this do? And this is why you should always comment your code. Okay, let's just try that again. I put a breakpoint in. Put a 4. Okay, so we go back over here. Okay, good. You can actually see. For a second, I'm like, oh, I never made sure they could see my screen. Okay. So data. What is this data from? This is data from. Okay, this is actually the system, so I'm going to update that variable name. So, like 2 or 3 versions of Foundry ago, you would access an item's data by going item.data, and sometimes you'd also go item.data.data, which didn't make a lot of sense. So now everything is item.system, which is way easier to do. Rename, yeah. I want that to be system because that's what that actually is, and I will remember it better. Okay. And now it's actually just going to break the debug, so I have to, yeah, let's just refresh. Okay, taking a look to see if there's any questions going on in the chat. Nope, not at the moment. Okay. Okay. Still not broken. Good. My plan was to go through new features and then grab something from the issue backlog to work on, but it looks like I found enough things broken on the sheet to just do that. My aggressive updating is okay. There we go. Doot doot. All right. System.attributes. It's going to be bad because it's not doing. That's not what where that is anymore. So it is actually going to be in system.changes. Yeah, so we have this change here, and it provides. Yeah, I think that's it. What is the function right now? Okay, I don't know what it is. Okay, so this is actually just gonna be changes. It is already. Oh, here. I'm gonna leave that in there just so it doesn't blow up if changes is null. But it is already an array. It does not. We don't need to do that. There we go. Ooh, system.levels. Okay, so we are going to have to check to make sure that this works fine for uh, adding classes, because classes use a special data structure that I made myself, and I don't know if I actually updated them to use changes correctly, so that could be fun. Move that. Just clean this up a little bit. There you go. Modes are not going to be a thing either. So, yeah, this is actually just going to be. Um, well, that's going to be interesting because these are now effects. So they just don't. So system dot. Yeah, there's no way to access that because effects are above one level above system. They're on the same level. So okay. Believe it or not, doing a full overhaul of a core system does tend to break some things. Okay, we're going to restart. Come out here, tell it to open the page again. Open. All right, and we're gonna do this little fix, and I'll keep doing the walkthrough of new features and stuff. Um, I don't want this to be just a code, a development. Well, I mean, it is a development stream, but I don't want it to be just me, you guys staring at code and me talking about it. As much as I love doing that, I mean, I like it more than I think most people do. So, come on. So this is one of the slowdowns for development where it takes a while to load, and it takes a while to load because when there's a lot of compendiums. So if you look at in here, all of these, everything in all of these has to run at the beginning. So what I'm trying to do is remove the stuff that actually runs at start and make it all lazy load. And so far, I've gotten pretty far actually at making it so it does that. But one of the most costly calls is still in there, and so I'm trying to make it so that doesn't happen until you open the sheet. Um, so that's one of my current goals here. Let's add that. Uh, okay, that actually is change system of changes. Wait, it's an array of arrays? That doesn't seem right. Um. Okay, so here's the attribute. Yeah, that's not correct. Okay, it's doing something weird. It's embedding that array inside an array. Oh, I know I did. Way back here where I did this push, it's pushing the array. So what I need to do is tell it to spread the array out. There you go. I was adding an array to an array instead of adding the contents of the array to the array, which is different. Okay, waiting for that to load again. Oh yeah, it doesn't like it when you make it too small. Yeah, so there were questions during the last live stream about if I was going to publish any of my uh, what do you call them, adventures, and the answer is mostly no. I did start working on putting together because I do want to run some stuff with the Blackwing virus at some point. And for those of you that don't know, there were two books that were written in Legends that are now considered Legends that have zombies caused by a virus. Well, I don't know if it's a virus or it's an infection. I think vaguely they suggest it's not actually a virus, but I don't know. I haven't read them for a while. Anyways, I kind of want to do an adventure where my party encounters them. The problem is this game tends to be very heroic, and so you don't really want to throw your heroes in to a meat grinder like that to essentially die. I mean, it's going to probably it's very likely to kill them. Um, However, my plan for that is, and that is yeah, that's correct. Okay, create item with ID. Oh, so that should have worked. Yep, GM bonus right here. We open it up. I think that's the wrong one. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I have to make it so it doesn't progress. Provides one. Eight. There. Oh, you also might have noticed that now there is change mode. So it used to just allow you to override. Now it allows you to say what kind of thing it is. Um, Custom currently doesn't do anything. Multiply does a straight multiply. Uh, Add does add. That's the default. Downgrade and upgrade. What those do is when you get to resolving them, it takes the existing value, it takes the new value that you've inputted, and if it's an upgrade, it sees which one's higher and it picks that. If it's a downgrade, it sees which one's lower and it picks that. That's one of the default ones that comes in Foundry. I did not pick that as what I'm going to implement. I just wanted to make it consistent with how Foundry generally works. Uh, I don't know how useful it is in this system. I feel like it's going to probably not be used very much. But then there's override. This means that when you get to this point, uh, if it takes the two values and it the new one is just overwrites the old one. Then you'll see this priority. This is the order that things are resolved in. So everything with a 1 is first, then everything with a 2 is second, etc. And you can have as many levels of priority as you want. Yeah, so that essentially what that will do for you is means that you can have multiple levels of override. You can add and multiply in different orders because you can order things. Again, how useful this is, I don't know, but there are some more complicated talents and feats that probably are going to use something like that just because of how overly complex they are. Um, One of the next things I have to add is the other kind of multiply. So in most TTRPGs, when you have 2d6 and you multiply that, you roll 4d6 instead of 2d6. There is a kind of multiplication that happens in this particular game where it wants you to roll the dice first and then multiply that outcome, which is fine. It just is a different kind of multiplication. So I'm going to have to add that in as well. And maybe that just goes in this custom slot, but I think it's going to be a whole other slot at the bottom. Um, Other things I want to do. This obviously is not a big enough text box. For things that are this size, I'd kind of like to make them pop down to the next line, or even turn into a text area so that it's easier to edit. Because, for instance, there are special attributes that are on some weapons that are very long blocks of text explaining how they work, and I don't. Obviously, this isn't a good way to show that. It doesn't work very well. Very hard to read. Oh, good, that still works. Something down there twitch when I did that? No, okay. Yeah, cool. All right. So yeah, that works again. Obviously, there's some text missing, and I think it's because I was messing around. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. How's it going? It's been kind of quiet. It's just been me, and I've been walking through the new features. So you can look up at the recording which posted in some of the earlier features. But mostly, I was fixing a bug that I introduced in my last uplift. So, and now actually, I'm seeing another one. These bonus feats are supposed to tell you what feat is being added. Yeah, so it's supposed to tell you that's for linguist, but it doesn't. So I think I know why I haven't gotten that far. Modes now, well, actually, these are going to be this is going to be changed to effects, but it's essentially the same thing. Um, the battle never. That's true. Yeah. It's every time I try to update stuff so that it's easier for me to work in the future, I tend to break things. Um, all right, so modes are gone. Well, I mean, they're not gone; they're just changed. So they used to be a custom mechanic that I added, and now I am using the built-in active effect system of Foundry, which is better but also somewhat limited. So modes used to have modes within modes. So activating this mode A would let you choose between two things below it, etc. And that's not really an option anymore. However, there's some fun stuff. Oh well, that actually is going to be. I don't. It shouldn't be let you do that. So there is some fun stuff with this where you now can. So here you can. It shows you which ones are enabled by whether it's grayed out or not. You can click them on and off. You can also drag. So let's name this mode. We're going to call this one. Um, uh, just mode A. I'm not very apparently not very creative today. We'll call this one mode number 1. There you go. So both of them are disabled right now. Now they're both enabled. What you can do is you can drag one onto the other, and you can say it'll say mode A will become a, and there's a couple of different options here. So parent, what that's going to do is when it's disabled, all of its children are disabled as well. When it's enabled, they work normally. So essentially, you can enable and disable them independently once the parent's enabled. Child is just the opposite of that relationship. It's just saying that I am the child of that, as opposed to I am the parent of that. Mirror means that it's going to stay the same as. So if I were to click this and go create link, you got a little link icon showing that there's a link. When I click here, it disables the other one. And we got two effects can only have one link between the two of them. So if I drag this again, it will reset the thing. We also have an exclusive mode, and this is kind of one of the more important ones. So like rate of fire selections on weapons are going to use this. So prereq stuff mostly. Kind of. Yeah, so the one that this is mostly built for, there's two weapons that are very, very complex. For most weapons are very straightforward. They usually have like a rate of fire setting, and that's what this exclusive mode would be for. So when you activate one, so only one can be activated at a time, and it will turn the other one off. That's pretty straightforward. I'm trying to remember the name of the other weapon. It is the Yuuzhan Vong, I believe, have a staff that acts as 3 different weapons. Here, let's is it Amphi staff, I think. And this doesn't work yet. This is I literally have started working on this these last couple days. But that's what this is going to be for. So we got this Amphi staff thing here. So I'm working on getting this making more sense. There is a version on that I can show off right now, but so essentially there is a special attack. There's 3 distinct weapon forms, so you can switch it between quarterstaff, spear, and whip mode. And they all do completely different things. So that's what this is for. Yeah, I think it's a little over complex. I'm not really a huge fan of how this is implemented, but or how it's on here, because like there aren't a lot of weapons that are like this where it's very complex like this, but uh, here we have one example. Um, Actually, I'm gonna grab that. So we're gonna go in here. So the other thing I've started doing is, you'll see there's now an armor compendium. This is just armor as opposed to all items, because I thought it was easier to look through. It would probably be easier if you're looking for armor to look in the armor compendium as opposed to looking in the items compendium and then looking through a whole bunch of different kinds of items just to find it. So then we go down, and I also have a weapons compendium. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so amphistaff. Here it is, right near the top. Drag it on here. Yeah, so you'll see that these are inherited from. Oh, that's weird. It should not let you do all of them at once. Okay, well, I have split the compendiums. It's just an attempt to make things easier to find. My next goal is things like special weapons are all going to be in their own thing, because I think it does make a lot of sense if you're looking for a generic weapon that you scroll past Anakin Solo's lightsaber. um, and maybe it does. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter, but I thought that it would clean it up a little bit if we had like special weapons that inherit from other weapons separated out. Yeah, so this isn't working. This is not working correctly yet. This should be working differently, but we could set it up in here correctly. Here, if we open this, we could go to modes, and spear will become exclusive with quarterstaff. That looks awful when it has a broken link like that. Okay, now I know I gotta go fix that. All right, and we drag this one exclusive. We drag this up to here, exclusive. So now when I do that, it turns those two off. There. And that's how that should work. Um, let's see. I think there's also a variable blaster that I was playing around with trying to get to work correctly. It's the one used. It's the one from Republic Commando, I think, if I remember correctly. Where it has all the different attachments, and that essentially they all work as separate weapons. And I think the easy answer would have been to give you 4 different weapons to use, but instead I decided to make it complicated and just go for putting it all into a single thing. So let me see if I can find what that is called real quick, and I will pull up. We'll see if we can pull it up. DC17MIWS, I think. Let me see. No. Yeah, there's also variable blasters that have weird effects like this. Yeah, it's DC17. Yeah, the classic sniper and grenade launcher. That's exactly the one I'm talking about. Um, let's see. So that's gonna be right DC. Unless it didn't import, it's very possible it just didn't work. Yeah, I might have to go play with that a little bit, get that working before it'll actually import correctly. So yeah, that's the rundown of how the new mode system works. So why you'd want to use this? So if you open these up, this is a default page because active effects can mean a lot of different things. Isn't it just interchangeable blast or something? I'm not sure what you mean exactly. It is, yeah. So it is. It would work a lot like the amphistaff, where you can switch between modes. But then also, if you're in blaster mode, you can have single shot and the area attack one. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head. Here. Blaster. Yeah, so if I go to blaster rifle in modes, it's going to show up. Yeah, you can have auto fire, you can have stun, you can have all sorts of things when you're in blaster mode with that particular weapon. And that's my goal is to make that supported essentially. Like everything else is simpler and will work just fine. Um, yeah, it's totally not there. Maybe I excluded it for some reason when I was doing the export. Okay, yeah. So blaster rifle. Okay, so the reason you'd want to do all this is because when you get on here, you go to effects and you can add attributes, you can add keys, and all of this stuff gets um, inherited in a certain way. So certain things, like in this case, we are on a mode on a weapon. So things like damage die are going to be imported. So if we do, what did I break now? Oh, that's fine. Just I was debugging stuff and apparently left all the debugging stuff on. So we go 1d6. Yeah, so that is on the spear type. Let's see, does... Okay, so you'll see there's this row here that has this grayed out. This is not very obvious yet. Obviously, I'd like to make this better. It is, but this one is an inherited row. This is the one we just added. So we go back here, spear is currently activated, but if we go activate quarterstaff, and we go back to effects, that damage die is gone. So essentially it lets you have different sets of attributes that you can import, that you can inherit or disable. And that's the main system that lets you make weapons change in different ways and have different settings on weapons. Yeah, so as far as on this page, I don't know if I like that this all shows up. Maybe it needs to be in its own little box saying, hey, this is coming from this weapon, and just section it off a little bit. I don't really know. I haven't gotten that far. Okay, so the next thing down is changes. This is everything that's being inherited or that is directly on the character sheet. So this top one, you can tell this is I can actually click on this. So this one actually exists on the sheet, so and I can delete this one. The rest of these are all coming from somewhere else. Certain things don't get inherited. Certain things do. It's actually kind of complicated which things are which at the moment, and I haven't finalized the list of things that will not be inherited from items. Things like damage dice shouldn't be inherited because it's not usable at the character level. And there's other things like that, so those are things I want to exclude. All right, let's see. Notes. It's a basic notes field. I did fix some of the formatting. This used to be the tiniest little box when you click on it. Now it's not, and you can actually use it. I think it's more usable now. It was usable then, but it's more usable now. A lot of things that used to be kind of just little checkboxes are getting moved over to the settings table or the settings page. I think this probably already exists somewhere. Or I think this already existed in older versions, but I'm just showing off that, yeah, it does look a little different. Let's see. This dark side score area, I think it's hideous, and if anyone has recommendations on what to do with it now that the colors have changed, yeah, I'll listen to that and we'll do some stuff. So yeah, there's been a little bit of a reformat just to make things fit better. Things look, in general, I just think things are looking better. I have to look at this a lot when I'm working on stuff, so I thought, a little facelift would be welcome. Yeah, so there's going to be any buttons that need to appear for a field show up on the right-hand side now, including you can turn the shields up and down, you can turn them on and off, roll your grapple, roll your base attack. Let's see. Oh, a lot of fields now have overrides, so we have 18 is the resolved one. So if I hit set override, I can go, well, actually I want 55 health, and it will do that for you. And then you can remove the override. And a lot of fields have that. Let's see, did I do it here? Yeah. So defenses all have it. Does this one? Hey, it does. I wasn't sure. Shields have it. I don't know what else should have it. So I haven't done a lot more. Um, yeah, so this is what these look like now. I think they look cleaner. More work obviously needs to be done because it's still the old style boxes, just kind of on a blue background, and it should look more like the rest of this. Um, Maybe a gradient on dark side score from plain to dark red or dark red. That's a really good idea. I'm probably going to steal that at least for my first draft at updating this because the bright red on this background is awful. But speaking of colors, we did do a little work on that as well. So in configure settings, you can go to Star Wars Saga Edition. You can now select the colors for a lot of what's on here. There's still some stuff that's not changed, but and I do intend to have like a dark mode, light mode default buttons on here. But the point of this is to make it for anyone who has difficulty reading for colorblind reasons or for well, just any sort of vision impairedness. You can adjust these so things are easier to read. Um, I am not an expert on accessibility. I've only done a little bit of work and only taken a couple of classes on it, so I haven't like gone through and decided what other things need to be done here. But at least for now, if you're having a hard time reading something, you can go in here and change it. Um, and I think that should help out a lot. Oh, I don't think I actually hit save. Yeah, so let's see what color is that? I think it's this hyperlink color. So if I can go here, I can go pink. And does it do it? Oh, maybe I have to hit enter on the thing first. I'm gonna save this because I like this. There is a default color. You can go back to it. But there we go. And then save changes, and yeah, so it all shows up as pink now. Font size and type setting. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. So the reason I haven't gone and done that right away is because as soon as you start allowing the changing of font sizes, all of the formatting gets way more difficult to handle and predict, which is fine. And I think that I'm moving to a place where this actually is that would be more doable. Um, but yeah, like I think changing the font type would be great, just because there's some really good like actual Star Wars fonts. And I did look at what it would cost to get a license to use that for this project, and I don't have any sort of law experience, and so I kind of shied away once I had read through. I read through like a couple of licenses. I didn't really understand them, so I'm like, I'm just gonna not do that and use a free font for now. But actually, does it let you do? I thought there was like a default thing here that would let you go back. Maybe not. Okay. Um, so yeah, I think I would like to do that at least to try to get so you have the option because yeah, I think the font that's on the actual on the character sheet from the book, it is available online, but it is behind a license and a paywall. So yeah, that's the only thing that really stopped me from getting it in here. Um, Not because I couldn't actually put it in here, but because yeah, I didn't really want to play around with things that could get me in legal trouble. All right, let's see what else. What else? Okay, so this is now the vehicle sheet. The vehicle sheet got the same kind of facelift. Crew qualities up here now. Vehicle templates right here. It's pretty much the same thing. It's not super different. This is wrong. If you see on the shield section here, the buttons show up in the white. That should be the same here, so we can go fix that in a second. But yeah, this is all work. Most of this is working now. I haven't seen anything that's still broken. I know a lot of people are complaining that this doesn't work. Double should not be there. It should be a modifier on one of the weapons. Stations work again. You can drag people between stations. You can add other people to stations. Remove people. And that should be you're late. Like, oh, thank you. Yeah, that's kind of was the big thing, was making sure things look pretty. Just because I have to see them all the time, so I thought, give it a facelift. Yep. So we also have here, and I've discovered that these boxes do not work because I disabled enter in boxes because it kept hitting random buttons on the page. So I had to disable it, and I discovered, oh, actually, it does kind of ruin things. So I'll have to turn those. I'll have to fix that. But you can just add new equipment here. Ideally, you'd be able to go here and say, uh, is it? Yeah, it should be possible to add weapons now under systems. So I take the missile launcher, pilot, weapons, um, and they should be inheriting all of their stats from whoever is in the pilot station here. Um, and that did used to work. I don't know how I broke it, but it's working again. This also has a GM bonus thing. I don't know how useful this is specifically on vehicles. I might have to add another list of possible bonuses, but let's see. Modes. This has the same kind of mode page. You can add modes. You can link modes so that they alternate, stuff like that, and you can go in same stuff that I showed you for on character sheets. Changes. This is actually I changed the name correct. I don't think I changed the name on the other one. Oh no, I did. Okay, so changes. It's the same as on the character sheet. Uh, Everything that is inherited will be grayed out. Right now, it's only this uh, drop down that's currently grayed out, but everything should be grayed out, slightly grayed out, so that you can't edit it. And anything that's directly on here, which is nothing at the moment. I can add something though. Yeah, so this one is, I can actually change things here. Um, I have thoughts. So right now, I don't like how the vehicle template works. It acts like a species on a character sheet, but it feels less useful and less, because I mean there's no description text available on the site, and maybe I just missed it, but um, I don't know if I like how this works at all. So we'll see. Oh yeah, it adds colossal, and of course that's broken too. Yeah. The items need some tender loving care at this point, because there's a bunch of systems that have been abandoned over the last couple of months that are still visible. But this should have a working notes page. Okay, good to see that is. I'm glad I noticed that that's broken before I released a stable. But yeah, that should work just like this one, where it's got the little thing here. Yeah, we can actually probably go in and fix a couple of things. So let's see. This right here should show up moved over. So what we can do is go here, and we would want. Let's see. Those are both on the hit point boxes for the respective sections. So under templates. Okay, actor health, and then vehicle health. So an actor health in the shield section, and in the uh-oh, is it the same? That's no good. Um, oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, and these are just CSS classes that format things a certain way. So when we refresh that, that's going to move over. What was the other thing I wanted to look at? I want vehicle notes to work. So vehicle sheet um, notes. Um, actor system. Okay, so what does it look like on the actor sheet then? Notes. Okay. Oh, it actually is called description. That might be the thing. Even their campaign and several. That's a nice problem to have, though. Yeah, since my son was born, I haven't played actually any tabletop at all, and I'm getting my Star Wars game started up in the next week or so, or next month or so. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, it's okay. So notes. Yeah, but it's been pretty hard to go without for so long. Okay, we're just going to make these so that they're the same. System description. System. Okay, this is using biography. Let's just go copy this over. The the data structures are almost identical. This shouldn't break anything. And that goes to there. Yeah, so that should fix it. Some solo play, but I'd like to. I still haven't done Dawn of Defiance actually. My game that I'm running is a complete homebrew that I have been writing as we go. You have this itch. Yeah, no, I get the feel. I get it. I've got a stack of unplayed RPGs over in the corner. I'm just like, yeah, if I could just get a group every week or so, that'd be great. But it gets harder. Kids make things a little bit harder. But okay, so let's refresh this. Let's make sure all our changes worked. Um, Yeah, no. Saga Edition I think is a really fun one. It's fun to I don't know what it would be like to play solo. Actually, I think that'd be a really cool project to do something that kind of facilitates a solo game for you a little bit. Like it gives you a little bit of randomization, kind of makes you a roguelike scenario. So you wouldn't really be like role playing, but you'd be doing kind of a dungeon crawl, which I think would be pretty fun. I have an idea for kind of a universal tabletop role playing game language that essentially is a programming language that it describes tabletop role playing. So you could describe rooms, hallways, characters, etc. And I think that'd be a really neat way to do that kind of thing. There is a solo TTRPG guide. Really? Okay, I'll have to check that out. I use Mythic Game Master Emulator and the is it Moon or Mune Game Master emulator for solo. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I think it would at least be fun to try out some ideas I have before making my real players deal with it. Like the zombie stuff. I think it'd be really fun to run some zombie stuff. Let's see. So that was actually correct already. This one is the one that was broken. Huh. Okay. It's still not working. Notes. Oh, notes work now. I gotta figure out why that's different. That should be filling the whole thing. Yeah, really the problem right now with me playing games it isn't my friends' availability. It's my availability. So, zombie Star Wars Traveler game. I haven't played Traveler. Is that what you're talking about? Like the TTRPG Traveler, or are you talking about? Yeah, because I mean that would be fun too. I've okay. Yeah, I'm not very familiar. All I know is I think his name's Seth Sorkowski on YouTube. He's a big Traveler guy, and every time he talks about it, I'm like, this sounds really great. I think I'd like this. um, okay, so why on the vehicle one is this not working? Its parent probably is missing something. Resource label, flex row. Okay. No, I need the. Okay, vehicle health, actor health. Ah, I see. Okay. Is there a reason to not just copy it over? So these two sheets are different, but they've gotten more and more similar. I'm starting to wonder if I just need to re-merge them and have them just flexing a little bit, because so many of these things are more similar than different at this point. Failure chance. Stat block importer. Actually, I can show off. So right now, I guess the question is, where are you trying to import it from? Because right now, the way the compendiums are populated is I have a program that goes and screen scrapes everything and parses it and creates all of those items. Items are pretty well done. I think there's a couple of things I want to finish up, like linking active effects would be a important thing. I showed the amphi-stat earlier and how that those effects exist. They just aren't currently mutually exclusive. So yeah, most of the items are fine. A lot of the characters. So if we go back here and we look at what compendiums I have generated, it only goes up to CL2, and that's not correct. I mean, obviously we want to go past that. Um, for a second, I thought that ATAT was a CL2. I'm like, that's just the pilot. Okay. So the answer is yes. There is an importer. It's just very specific. Gaming through traveler books, discuss. Yeah, that's a good idea, and I do that a lot with different RPGs. I just read through them. I go on drive through sometimes, and I just pick up like old Gary Gygax 1 and 2 ebooks, and just read through them for ideas on like puzzles and stuff. I, I don't have any friends that would want to play something that sweaty, but I think it would be fun to try. One of my favorite ones to read through is there is an Alice in Wonderland one where you fight the Jabberwocky, and there's like 8 or 9 times where just walking into the wrong room instantly kills you. There's no indication that it should. You just walk in and you die, and it's like, okay, get your next character sheet out. And I like how brutal that is, but also I know a lot of more modern players are looking for a more heroic experience where they are able to progress and grow and stuff. And it doesn't really work well with old school Gygaxian stuff. Yeah, so it does import all this stuff. Oh, of course, all this stuff is turned off. You can't actually modify this because it is in the compendium. I don't know why I was trying to do that. So the problem right now, the reason it only okay, compendiums. The reason it only goes up to CL2 right now. I had all of them in there. It started taking like 20 minutes to load because of very inefficient. So whenever a sheet's initialized, it tries to build the sheet out. So there are some attributes that are like saved on the sheet, and there's other ones that are like figured out mathematically from what's saved. And I had too much math happening on each page, and so every single one of these had to run through all those equations, figure everything out, and it would take a long time. So that math still has to be done. It just needs to be done in a lazy way, essentially. So in programming, lazy loading is avoiding doing something until you absolutely have to, and that is a thing I can do. I just haven't actually finished it yet. But yeah, so essentially, once that happens, suddenly there'll be a lot less like loading that has to happen, and then I can start adding all these extra compendiums in. As far as dragging and drop, like yeah, again, for stack block importer, I'd need more. I need to know more of what you want, what you're trying to do with it. Where is it coming from? Because right now it's kind of a plain text thing. Enemy block for a character in a book or from the wiki. Oh, okay, yeah. So everything from the wiki will be imported eventually by me. Um, yeah. So the problem with importing it from a book is the form. There's no formatting. And right now, that's what I'm relying on. So the answer is maybe, because that's gonna be a really complicated thing. One of the next things I'm going to do is there is I'm in contact with the developer for, I can't remember the name of the software, but It is a web form that lets you create and save and share characters for this system. And my goal is to, when I'm at a better place with the rest of this, we're going to build a bridge between it. Essentially, you're going to be able to import your stuff from there. Uh, I think it is Saga Workshop. Yeah. So yeah, there are plans to do that. We haven't started working on it yet. I don't know if he's interested in doing it as well, or if it's just going to be me asking him to expose stuff so I can do it. I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, I am very excited for that. It just is. Yeah. The problem is it just takes so long to do a lot of the stuff when I don't have the time. Okay, why is that up there? That's up there. All right, apparently I did things slightly differently in two places here, and they should be about the same. Oh, okay, it's just a different... Dude. Labeled input. This one works. Oh, okay, I see what I gotta do. Shield failure chance. Ah, I see what I did. Okay, so the shield failure chance just needs to be moved over. It's an optional field anyway. Wait, this is the failure chance. What in the world? Oh, that's just wrong. Okay, that's the shield section. We're just gonna copy paste that because it is the exact same data structure, so there's nothing stopping me from doing that. And I gotta then go test it, but that's okay. So yeah, plans. There are plans to integrate, not really integrate, but more make it so you can export from Saga Workshop into this, because I think that would be very handy for some people. Because I haven't used Saga Workshop yet. Um, Essentially, he did a post about how he was open sourcing it recently, and I contacted him and said, "Hey, how would you feel about me doing this?" He goes, "Oh yeah, go for it." um, which I think that means I'm doing it myself, but that's okay. Yeah, and I can show you like right now. Okay, where's my... So this is all written. So Saga is all or Saga. Foundry is all written using JavaScript and handlebars, HTML, and CSS. Handlebars is just kind of a handlebars is just kind of a fancy way to enhance HTML. It's not much beyond that. Oh boy. For streaming reasons, you guys are viewing my smaller screen, and this was maxed out. So this is all I wrote all this in Java before I even started the Saga edition, that stuff in Foundry. And this is essentially how things are generated right now. So in general, the most basic of things, and this is for exporting all items. The most basic of things, it tokenizes everything, runs it through, and it looks for things that have certain attribute names. Tells user what. Oh, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, so the tells the user what it's missing thing. That's kind of a holdover from I used to use PCGen a lot for Pathfinder, and I really liked how it said, "Hey, you haven't done this yet." And PCGen is kind of a monster to use. It's I mean, even by the developers who I've worked with a little bit because I did contribute to there for a little bit. Um, yes, I did really like it. It is a very rough program to use though. Importing anything is awful just because it's a custom scripting, or it's like a custom data language, and it's really hard to use, and there's no tools to like debug it or anything. Yeah, but that's the reason why that was a focus, was to have those warnings saying what's missing and explains things a little bit. Because well, I have a lot of players who are very casual. Like they don't want to go read the book. They don't want to go figure out like, okay, so how do I do this math? They want me to tell them how to do it. They just want to play the game, and I that's fine. Um, but it does make it harder when you're making character sheets, especially on some of these systems that are less automated, because it's like they add an extra feat because it doesn't stop them and they miscounted something. Um, it's like, okay, so that was kind of why that was a focus from the beginning. Yeah, exactly. The biggest enemy of many a table is reading. Very true. No, I've run this a lot of the same players. The players in my Saga Edition game have gone through Pathfinder 1E with me, and for some of them that was their first game, and I think that was a mistake because that system is so crunchy and there's so many little rules that I think they were looking for more of a hand wavy experience, and they did fine. They didn't have any problems with it, but sometimes they're just like, so wait, the rules for that are what now? um, Okay, so shields look correct here. Let's make sure they look correct. Hey, look at the shields look correct here. And I can decrease the current shields. I can set the override for shields maybe. Yep. Okay, so shields are fixed on there. Alrighty. What's the other thing that was broken? Oh, notes are looking different. So if I click on both of these things, they should be about the same. This should be taller. What the heckins? Let's look at... It's going to be under vehicle sheet and actor sheet. Um, okay, so this is actually identical. Why is this looking different? Tab biography, tab biography. Oh, wait, it's not handled by that. It is handled by... Those editable squares are actually like like a module thing that's added on. Um, no, it's on that. It is in... Oh, there we go. I think this is it's in here. That's another thing I got to work on, is going in and cleaning up my CSS. Hey, this looks like it. Editor min height. Talks. That is it, but why is one acting different than the other? I don't know. That was one thing I learned a lot doing this project is CSS. I am still awful at it, but I'm less awful than I used to be. Um, let's see. Tox editor container, is that it? Display flex 1-to-1 overflow hidden. No, that's not doing it. Height auto, is that the... No. What if I come over here and look at you? Are you gonna... You gonna share your secrets with me? Um, Tux editor header. Height. Oh, okay. So for some reason the height's set at 100 pixels. Huh. That doesn't look like 100 pixels though, is it? No. Element.style. It's just in there? Oh, did I never refresh after I changed that? A minimum. Oh, I see. All right, I haven't checked the questions tab in Discord for a bit, so... Oh, still no questions there. Okay. Okay, so what is comparing two things in your debugging like this is not easy. Okay, so the height is set there. How is that height being set? Well, that's weird. Well, that's going to take a lot more time playing with it than I actually want to do right now, so. Okay, so one thing I do want to work on is essentially making it so items don't do any calculations on load. And that'll get me into a spot where suddenly performance should go, well, performance will get better. I think the biggest problem right now is on character sheets. Those are the ones that are a bit poorly performing. Um, if this is, oh, okay. It's only going to fill out the name if it's dirty. If there's been an update to it. I had a plan for this, now I don't remember. Okay, otherwise, this is going to pull it from storage. So this dot. So in this case, name is a field built into Foundry that I cannot change, but it's essentially used everywhere. So I have to kind of work around it a little bit. So what this is doing is it is taking the existing name field. Well, we can just open this up. It takes the existing name field. It does things like find if there's any like size adjustments being done. It finds out if there's any prefixes or suffix fields in here, and it does if there's any like payloads, like any selected choices, then they all get appended. Um, I want to say it was reasonably clever, but I don't like clever code, so it was not clever. It was very simple, and I didn't do a lot of work on it. No, I think it was reasonably clever, but it does work pretty well, and it doesn't get in the way. So what it's going to do then is it's going to take it from system dot name, and it's going to take the saved version. Okay. Let's see. So hmm. All right. I think I want to hook into pre-update. Yeah. Yeah, so I do want to get back into PC Gen development, but I do know for a fact that it's mostly abandoned at this point by the original creators. Um, I think it's still something worth saving, but I know a lot of them don't want to keep working on it just because they use such an archaic design that it's kind of painful to change and modify. Um, yeah, it is not an intro to Java type situation. Okay. Let's see. So pre-update, things that have changed. Let's see. What do I want to do? I want to mark it as dirty if something's changed. So, now let's just. All right. Well, before I get into this, are there any systems that you want me to show off or walk through or like talk about a little bit? I can do that. Even if I'm going back a little bit, that's totally fine. Um, is there anything that you want to see happen soon that I don't know, it's a good time to talk about that too. Um, okay, so in that case, I'm going to do that. It's probably printing a ton of stuff out, isn't it? To local lowercase property. What? Where in the hell? How did that happen? Local lowercase. I'd like to have a. Sorry, I moved the chat over. You'd like to have a clear picture of talent trees rather than one big list. Oh, that's a good. That's a good idea. I don't know how I would do that at the moment, but so that was something that the old like advanced compendium did to an extent. I turned that off for now because it's such a performance hog. So like if you come in here and you click on affiliations, it pops up, right? Yeah, so it did that a bit because these are tagged with their talent trees. This is not the talent thing. I don't know why I'm doing that. They are tagged with their talent trees, and that one did actually search for it. Gotcha. Okay. Um, so other options for it are, uh, so right now, it just has their name, right? Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. That's clearly broken. um, right now they just have their name, right? It's just there. What we could do, since this is sorted alphabetically, is put the talent tree name in ahead of it, and it would work with the current compendium. Um, I'm not really a fan of that, but it is doable that way. What I would like is that if this actually handled more complicated searches, I haven't really figured out how this works yet, to be honest. Um, yeah, I did try to use like because I think the Pathfinder 1E system has a nice compendium, but again, that one's also pretty slow. I'm not sure how these are so performant, and as soon as any of us try to touch it, it just is awful. But I don't know. We'll see. I also kind of just like the look of these now. Like they've updated the look and they added like this cool little. I know it's not very thematic, but I could go in there and change the banner. Um, but I think it looks nicer than it used to. Yeah, talent trees looking better would be good. I'm just not. I'm not. I guess I'm not sure what that looks like exactly. Maybe I do need to look at Saga Workshop and just see how that works. Um, Because yeah, it would be nice to be like, okay, I want things that I can. I would like things that I have the prerequisites for, and they just list your talents that you're allowed to take. I think that would be a nice feature to add. And actually, we can just let's see. Here, I'm just gonna grab this. We're just going to make that issue. Okay. Let's see. What was the other thing I just said? I can search for a talent by its talent tree. Oh, that's kind of a different thing. Yeah, we'll just leave that for now. There. And I'm going to also say, Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good feature as well. The other one I need to get to is off-topic question. Do you usually listen to something while coding? Music's podcast lectures. All sorts of stuff. There is a YouTube channel called Continuous Delivery that I listen to a lot, and mostly it's about better methods for testing and development. And I'm moving towards a continuous delivery model. Um, I do sometimes listen to like lo-fi music. There is a great Star Wars lo-fi, which kind of gets me just in the mood for working on this. There's also a handful of like Star Wars lore YouTube channels I follow, and I'll like listen to that, and they'll just like go through technical specifications of random droids, and you know, I mean, it's not something I'm super interested in because it's it's interesting, but also I'm listening to how tall a fictional droid is. It's not in my day to day. It's not super interesting, but that also is good for getting me in the zone for working on this. Sometimes I just listen to like trash political commentaries, uh, and yeah, usually I turn those off after about a half an hour because they're just what do they say? Politics are stupid but very important, and sometimes it just feels stupid. um, yeah, so that's usually what I listen to. Um, yeah, sometimes I just like we'll put Futurama on and just go for it. That's a good zone out show because I've watched it like 20 times through. Oh man, I have no idea how it did this. Oh, that's cool. That'll be fun to figure out later. It's probably has to do with me and the stupid name thing. Oh, I see. That's exactly why it's putting it as empty. Okay. Um, let's see. Gotcha. I mean, it's I feel like learning to code isn't that hard. Learning to code well is, I would say, but like dipping your feet in and figuring out how it works. I think everyone should give it a try, and it can be really fun. It can be really therapeutic. It also can just be really infuriating because, well, especially like JavaScript is one of those languages that everyone hates because of how easily you can do bad things. um, and like there's a lot of problems with different languages like that where if you're trying to learn a language like JavaScript is one of those languages which is easy to learn to use, but like you're going to write awful code for a long time. Um, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it is kind of funny. Let's see. I don't, it's not that bad. So the thing about JavaScript is you are restricted to being within a either like a Node server if you're using Node.js or you're in a browser. You're not you can't do a ton of things. I have literally been getting trash phone calls all day from random numbers. If I was a professional streamer, I would have muted that already. And there we go. All right. Yeah, no. JavaScript, you really can't do that much damage. I learned Java in high school. Uh, it would be 15 years ago, so it was still a pretty. It wasn't a new language, but it was still on like Java 4 or 5. I don't know. And you can do a little more damage with that, but it's still a very safe one because you're stuck within the JVM. The Disney lawyers are calling. Yeah, I know. I did actually have to look to see if I was safe on this one, on this stuff, but I don't think so. I don't think the numbers are from any of their offices, so I think I'm good. um, no, yeah, Java's pretty safe, so if you want to learn that, you can't do too much damage. Now, if you start doing things like C and C++, yeah, you can probably melt your computer if you try. Um, I know we in college we would occasionally So that was the thing. I went to school for electrical engineering. I was just the electrical engineering student who could also program, and so most of my friends would all come to me for programming help, because they hated that part of it, and it is kind of an important thing to also do. Well, we bricked, so we'd program like little microchips and stuff, and we bricked a lot of them. It's pretty easy to do. Um, just because once you start getting down to that low level, there's no safety anymore. There's nothing. Um, you can literally just tell a chip to burn itself out if you want, and it's um, just yeah. I think I mean we were using older stuff. Most of the stuff we were using was built in like the aughts or the 90s. And a lot of the newer stuff is even more forgiving than it used to be. But yeah, you could definitely do some serious damage to whatever system you're on. Okay. Um, oh, if system is dirty or if this is null. Yeah, that's what I want. Because if this is null, that means nothing's been saved, so we want to do that. Okay. Oh, is null. Here. So this is the worst and best thing about JavaScript. Um, uh, so this normally means not in general programming languages like Java or C++, like everything. In this case, if this is null and you put a not in front of it, it'll be true if it's null or undefined or an empty string or a zero. And it's very nasty. Like it can be very useful if you're trying to do like general purpose stuff, but suddenly like you're working with numbers and zero is a number, but you wrote the code expecting it to possibly be null, and so you're like suddenly everything's broken because zero is a valid input, but you said it wasn't accidentally somewhere. Um, JavaScript just is a net. It's so dirty, but it's very powerful, and you can do a lot of it with stuff in the web. But like it is so nasty sometimes. All right, so what we're gonna do is if this is null, or if a update has been made, we're going to resolve the name. And if that name is different from okay, so uh, if this dot if it doesn't equal the saved name, and we want to save it. Yeah, it's weird. It is weird. If I could remember the name of the lecturer, I'd find the video. But it was there's a joke lecture about 10 years ago, probably at this point, where he just goes through different languages and looks through the quirks, um, and essentially showed like how you can make empty arrays equal zero and all sorts of weird stuff in JavaScript, and it's because it was kind of meant as like a hacky language intentionally because they're trying to make it easy to use for the web, but really they just kind of made it. I don't want to say unwieldy because it's actually very easy to write good code in JavaScript. Well, it's not easy, but it's doable. You can do it. But like, there's a lot of things that you just have to avoid doing because it can get gross and hard to read. All right, and we want to save it then. Um, Probably just want to. I think I'm going to regret doing it this way, but I probably want to save it till the end in case there's other updates, but I think this is fine for now. And then we're just going to return right away, and okay, so that should actually be fine. All right. Yeah, that's a little hacky, but we'll live with that for now. All right. I've been streaming for about an hour and a half. Oh yeah, that's really bad. Okay, I absolutely broke it. I've been streaming for about an hour and a half. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna be right back. If I can figure out how to mute myself and turn off my camera. All right. Oh boy, what did I break? Um. Wow, that is okay. This dot. Oh, no wonder it's broken. That doesn't work. Okay. All right. So what I did, somehow when I was doing that, I added a this. Um. So this in programming means the current. Well, usually it means the current object that you're in, but in an object-oriented language like this. It also, in this case, can mean the current context, because JavaScript also has contexts for async calls. So that can be kind of weird. But this is a static method, which is in the class. It's in the class, and it doesn't require an instance of the class. So if that means anything to you, then you might want to start working on learning some programming, because that you got part of the hard part done there. All right, so let's give that a go. Did I break everything again? Maybe. Oh, it's just logging out the updates. Okay, I told it to do that. That's fine. Why are you not populating this? Let's see. What did I do? Oh, those are broken now. Well, that's not that big of a deal. Um, Let's just try a refresh real quick. Oh, there it goes. It's very possible nothing was wrong there. It just didn't feel like working. Let's see. I want to see if I notice the problem in here. Why are you not opening? Okay, let's just shut that down real quick. I think there's something about debugging with Foundry. Sometimes it just doesn't lose, it hangs on to context it's not supposed to, and it breaks everything. And it's probably my doing. I'm probably doing something wrong, but I don't know what that is, so I just restart. Okay, let's see. Are you actually trying to do it now? Maybe? Is there an error in here? I don't see anyone. Okay. Here, if I open that, is it gonna try to do it? Ah. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it was doing the same thing. If I open this now, there we go. Oh, that's weird. Oh, weird. Okay, what? How to do that? Something about the way I exported this and pause and debugger. That's okay. So I open up an instance of it. Okay, good. That's an instance. Okay, that's fine. I, I don't care about that right now. That's okay. That can be broken. It's just there. Okay, so why? Uh, source code. There we go. Your followers. Okay, so for some reason there's no spaces around followers anymore. Um, well, that's just cool. Oh, I know what I did. I actually know exactly what I did wrong. All right. So when I was working on this code to do the screen scraping, what I was trying to do was clean up comments in the HTML because you can't see those anyways. Most of them were like website statistics for some reason. I don't really know what they were doing with them, but they were there, and I didn't want to take up extra space with them. Um, so I did something to clean that up. I think I also cleaned up empty strings, which include one space, and I think that's what's missing. Let's see if we go here in Foundry item. Description. Get description. Oh, is that not where I did it? Oh, here we go. Remove comments. So if the node name is a comment, it's almost midnight here. Have a good night. Have a good night. I guess I should have started sooner. Sorry about that. I guess I'm not I didn't adjust correctly for time zones. Okay. Oh, there we go. I don't care if it's blank. We're going to get rid of that. There. Now when I update that, that should actually show up correctly. Okay. Get rid of that. That's fine. Okay. What was the other thing I was working on? Oh, yeah, I was trying to make it so it stopped. Okay, so I'm trying to make it so it does the dirty flag correctly, because then it needs to regenerate the name. Um, Okay, so you need to go up here, put a little debugger there. And I am going to, let's see, I want to update an item. Okay. It updated the name. That makes sense. All right, so if changed dot dirty, no, it's gonna be system dot dirty. If it equals false, or mark that as true. And that will break if that comparison is wrong, I think. So let's just give it a go. We'll figure out if that comparison is wrong. Okay. Okay, it's loading. Cool. Okay, let's see. So now if I change this, it should do that, and then it should... Oh, I can't hit enter there because I broke that. Okay. Did it break something? It might have. Um, oh, weird. That's what, okay. Um, Actually, we could probably fix that right now then. All right, let's give that a go. Uh, Okay. What is this? This is undefined. Ooh. Okay. Um, on span text input. Oh, I know what you gotta do. Uh, uh, hmm. This is what I was talking about earlier, where this can also mean the current context. And the current context is nothing apparently, because it's a anonymous function. So what I need to do is tell it to. Oh man, I don't know. I think I need to make this into a function and then. Hmm. Okay, so we're going to make a new function down here. I'm going to call it on enter. There. Hmm. I want. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay. Come on. Well, it's doing it. I have to restart Foundry. It might be. Okay, and how did that break? Cannot read properties of undefined reading render. It's still undefined, huh? Hmm. Alright, I know I'm binding stuff somewhere else. How am I doing this wrong? Hmm. This is one of the features of JavaScript that I would say is not easy to use. You're able to bind a method or a function to a different context than you're currently in. And um, it's not super easy to use. And maybe it's just because I'm not good at it, but it does actually feel like it's just kind of difficult sometimes. Okay, so I go up and just go bind on toggle bind this. Okay. Call it with that context. Okay. Well, I think the problem might be that no, because it should be binding there. Hmm. Huh. Okay. What am I doing differently? Because that other one works. I know that. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Actor sheet. Okay. Find this. Okay, that's exactly how I did it. Hmm. Okay, let's try it again. Maybe it just didn't load correctly. Rendering. Eventually. Alrighty. Oh, that's weird that I added it twice. I apparently am doing it in 2 different ways. Alright, oh well, I'll fix that later. Okay. Okay, and I get here and it's still undefined. Why is that undefined? Doot, 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 doot. Oh, okay. Um, Actor sheet, item sheet. Okay, it's because up here it's not being bound. Oh. Can I still do that somehow? Can I... pass this in as a sheet? Okay. Alright, to the chatter, to anyone in Discord who is keeping an eye on this, if you have any questions, send them in now. Any, they don't even have to be relevant to this, just, you know. Okay. To compile templates, good. We go here, able companion. Come on. Yeah, this is the painful part of developing for this, is that the onload is slow enough where it actually is kind of when you're trying to do a quick iteration of work, it takes forever. Maybe I'll focus on that tonight a little more, getting finishing up that those optimizations so that it's not doing that. All right, let's see, in debugger. There we go. Okay. Okay, apparently it's not saving though. Alright, so the problem is it's trying to render what it needs to be doing is saving. Event. Oh boy. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get the target. Is it the target? current target? No. Even dot target? I think it might be. No, it's not target, is it? Oh, it's current target. There we go. All right, we get the target, and we got to get target. And that target's going to have a name. Name, I think. Okay, and that should output where to save it. So if it's been changed, that's not working right now. That's okay. We're going to do a safe update where data. Okay, we have a data object and then data dot target dot name equals target dot value. Maybe. Okay. Let's give that a go. Okay. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay. So now we go here. We go 2. And I think it might be doing something bad. This dot safe update is not. Oh. It would be. I think this dot document. Yeah. Okay. I probably should have picked a more snappy thing to work on. But hey, we got some formatting stuff fixed. I think things look a little bit better on that page now. That I still have to figure out why the notes section is different sizes on 2 different sheets when there's no real difference. Why is this taking so long? It says it's trying. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, and then this should be. There we go. Let's see, and this is target value. Okay, so this did not work. Input effect title. Hmm. Let's see. Um, maybe we just want no. Okay, apparently that's nothing. Well, let's actually look at the sheet before I decide I'm doing something wrong here. It might be wrong. Items, item. Item sheet. Title, item name, alt, item name. Oh, that's the image though. That's not what I'm currently working on. Um, oh, that would do it. Oh, but it's actually the created element, not the actual elf element there. Okay. So the created element is the problem that it is taking from the existing. I think it is. So what I need to do is go and say there. I think that's going to fix that. And then value. Um, let's see. Value. Target dot value. It's okay. There we go. Okay. So I think it should print out the two correct things after I refresh this. Doot doot. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, I gotta go and fix those compendiums up. They are so slow. I gotta go get those links working between different active effects. Well, still trying. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Able Companion 2 and... So value is not right, apparently. Um... Let's try it again, I guess. Let's see. Oh, the name is... Oh, sorry, yeah, the name is wrong. Okay. Um... it's just not saved off. There we go. Okay, that works. Okay. There we go. That should actually work now. Hey! I fix interesting stuff, not just aesthetic things today. Oh, there we go. Come on, open up. Maybe that's just what I need to start working on, is getting that, so it's not doing as much work on load. Oh, you're really quick to tell me when the screen's too small, aren't you? Okay. Did it not do anything? What's going on here? Uh, okay. Huh? It didn't work before. Okay. Wait. Um, no, I want to, if it doesn't equal false. If it doesn't equal false, I want it to equal true. Because that means, so if it's undefined, right? Yeah, if it's undefined or true, it should be true. If it is false, it should not be true. Okay. Whew. Change dot system equals change dot system or empty object. Alright, I have now been up for about 12 hours and I still have, oh god, I still have like 5 hours to go. It's a long day today. Come on. You broken somewhere? No? Maybe. Wait, what? Oh, there it is. 2. Yes, yeah, okay. Cool. Um, oh, okay, that worked. All right, so that probably needs to be just an update field. Phew, I don't know. Okay. Well, looks like someone has joined us. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so that works now, but now the on blur does not work again. Or maybe I didn't get that working. I don't know. Let's see. On blur. You know, if I made this window bigger, it'd be easier to see. If you have any questions that you need answered, go ahead and toss them in the chat. Those include questions about the system, um, Saga Edition in general. I don't know, whatever questions you got. Let's see. On enter, cool. On span text. Oh, there's an on blur in here, isn't there? Oh, focus out. That's the problem. Hmm. It's weird. Focus out. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I kind of want to do a thing like this again, but we're going to do on instead of on enter, we're going to do focus out. Okay. So on focus out. Do this, and I don't care what the code is, or what the key code is. There. Oh, there we go. Okay. Uh, why are you not doing an on blur? Okay. Let's make sure stuff is okay. I think I'm gonna have it just do a this dot refresh, this dot is it refresh render. There. Because I think the problem is since I didn't change it here. I bet if I change this, it will actually. Well, yeah, of course that's gonna work. That's the other method. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, that works fine. Hmm. I could probably make that look better. Just so much stuff to make look better. This is an Act Dogmaster. I have no like. I'm using this as an example, but I have no idea what it is. Okay, so if I do 5, click away, it updates. Okay, that's what I wanted. Um, here, let's change this. I don't actually. I guess it doesn't matter if I break it. Click away. Did it actually save? No idea. No. For something I did just destroyed all of this. Well, I probably can use the same methods though, so it's not a big deal. Item sheet, yeah. But I think it all works on direct field. Am I just missing something that on here? I might just be missing something that I have on the actor sheet correctly. Uh, yeah, it's these. Or I don't have them marked as direct. Put text direct. Input text. Yeah, it's just not marked as direct. That is why. Okay. It should be. Should be direct. How am I drawing those prerequisites? That's the question I need to ask. That's the question I asked, and that's the question I need to answer. Um, let's see. Under common, maybe? Why don't I remember stuff I wrote 2 years ago? text direct. Oh, why don't you like that? Oh, it's a type. It's not a class. Whoopsie. Age. Well, honestly, these still hold up. Like, usually my code this old it starts looking a little bad, but this is actually pretty good. Okay. Alright, while that loads, I am just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay. There we go. Alright, so let's make sure these prerequisites can be updated now. Did that do it? I don't know. Hey, there we go. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess I'm breaking stuff as I go. Uh-oh, let's really confuse it. Okay, that works. That's all messed up. We'll fix that later. That actually is pretty good. Um, Alright, I think I'm pretty good with that for now. I think this is all, yeah, the direct thing is all set up correctly on most of these. It's weird that it was messed up on there and nobody was saying anything. Probably just wasn't using that system or thought they were doing it wrong, but it works now. Okay. Oh man, this is so ugly, and I need to yeah, it's not that important though. Okay, so what is the problem with this one? It's that it doesn't have direct on it, does it? Oh, it doesn't. I shouldn't have direct on it. Okay, let's see. So, I want to look at the list. Oh, what the heck? I don't want that. Actor. No, 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 no. It is in. This needs to be moved. It's in a bad spot. Okay. So we have create new. Oh, we actually want quick create. Data action quick create. Okay, apparently the problem is data action quick create is not showing up on actor sheet. Quick create on quick create. All right. Data action is quick create. Why is that not working? Okay. Input type data action. Did I do something really weird when I was setting this up? Looks fine. On quick create, bound this. Yeah. Okay. What I would really like is if I could just have it pause at the first place I go to. But I don't know how to do that if it's even possible. I guess I can check to see what listeners are attached, but it's trying. Okay. Bach. Oh. Okay, so now it actually is going to that. Okay. Let's disable the breakpoint. Why did it stop going to that? That's the question now. Box O rocks. Okay, so now it's not going there. Why is it not going there? Did it hit a exception during that? No, I don't think so. Okay. Key press. Okay, am I just using a bad... Should I not be using key press? Should I just be on change? Does that make more sense? Um... Type key press. Yeah, I mean, that should be fine. Huh. Type, okay. Well, hold on now. Stop propagation might be what I should need to be putting there. Don't tell me it's actually like removing. I wonder if it's removing the exact thing it's supposed to be doing. Okay. Let's give that a go. Okay. Oh, well, we still are waiting on that, so that's cool. Come on. It's trying. Might have to restart. Nope, there you go. Okay, it happened. I still might need to restart Foundry. Yep, I think I was deleting it. So if I go box, rocks, and or drawer full of assorted lengths of wire. Nope, it still does not do it. Let's see. Do I want to do an on? Would on change work? To be fair, that was the only on key press thing. I wonder if that just doesn't work the way I think it does, and this entire time it's just not worked. If I could have sworn it worked before, so I don't know. There you go. Come on. I kind of want to just delete the compendiums and see if that fixes the problem, and I know it's a what it's an issue with. Or then recreate the compendiums, but only with names, so they're pretty much empty. So I just need to know where the performance drag is. Okay. Toot toot. Okay. Okay. Apparently it's not on change. I don't know what the heck's going on with this. Because it was connected for a brief second and it stopped. Data action, quick create on. Um, hmm. Like this used to work. Why did it stop working suddenly? Is it because I turned off that automatic submit thing that was breaking stuff? Okay, so if I go back here and I go to okay, so that one, so that worked, but the enter did not work. Why is that? There's something wrong with both of those. I could have sworn it was just working. It's very strange. On enter, stop propagation. So that worked. This worked. That worked fine. What? Wait. The enter key doesn't do anything. Um. Doesn't count as a key for some reason. Yeah, if I hit space, it comes through. Is it being? Is something else getting in the way? Of course. And of course, I can't actually do anything about it here because as soon as I click away, it's going to go away. Okay. Let's try this one. Input event listeners. Key. Is there no key press? There's gotta be, right? Is it called something else? No. Maybe. Drag start focus in gamepad connected. Gamepad is connected. Oh man, am I just like getting to the end of my usefulness today? Because that is very confusing. Oh, that's just weird. Okay, well, that's gotta be fixed too. Okay, if I let's see, if I close this, I reopen it. Am I, okay, DOM events. There's a key press one, right? Am I nuts? Yeah, there's a key press one. Okay. What is going on here? Listeners, no. Okay, let's leave that. How do you add custom active effects? Oh, okay, yeah, we can walk through that real quick. I mean, it gets easier with the new versions, assuming everything's working today. But on both, so this is a character sheet. So you just go to the modes tab. It's going to change to the. I may change it to the effects tab. It's just going to be a name change though. And you can just click here. It'll pop up with a new mode. Um, and you can do all sorts of stuff with it. So you can enable, disable. You can go into edit. Um, and effects isn't real. That should probably be changes, but then you can add any number of attributes you want to import. Um, yeah, what other questions do you have? There's also you can drag one effect onto another, and you can link them. So the kinds of links that are available are parent and child. So in this case, uh, did this one become the parent? I think so. So in this case, if I disable this, okay, so if this one's enabled, and I enable this, you'll see that the top one's grayed out. It's because all children of a disabled parent become disabled. What that means is that their changes, their attributes don't get inherited anymore. Other options are I can make this so it is I can make it a child, so I can invert that relationship. I can make it mirror that one. So now whenever I click, it's going to patch it. If I click here, oh look at that. And so if I click this one, these two are exclusive, which means only one in that group can be selected at a time. Uh, and then these two are mirrored, so this one will actually match it. And you can do all sorts of fun stuff by dragging them onto each other and doing that. There is a point, so it is technically possible to create some kind of loop. That is protected again, so you actually can't do something that would make it so that everything breaks intentionally. I hope that answered your question. Do you have any other questions? And the same thing can be done on if we switch over to a ship. There is a modes tab here too. Same things going on here. You'll also see actually one thing on here. Some of these are inherited. These ones are inherited from a weapon that's on the sheet. So if you go here, there's an amphistaff, and this one's got. That's where those modes came from. They should probably be designated, like there should be some highlighting that I need to add so that it's clear that they're inherited and maybe prevent you from doing more than linking to other things. Um, yeah, the idea is that you're able to create reasonably complicated ways of turning on and off different modes on your character sheet. All right. Well, thank you for your question, Cursed Jinx Gaming. I appreciate it. If I could just figure out the problem I was having here. Apparently, key press down doesn't work all the time. Sometimes. Key press. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be on there. Let's see if I can get that to work. Okay, so it does not work here. Wait, what? Hmm. Let's see. Maybe I need to do. Just. There we go. I'm going to check the questions thing real quick. Looks like no questions. Okay. Let's try refreshing. Still not sure what's happening with that. That is so strange. Come on. Someday I'll fix the performance on this, and then I won't have to. This won't take so long. Maybe tonight. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay. 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 Well, now it seems to work just fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. And that's on a key press. Okay, let's go back and try the other thing and see if I can get to. Should be key press, yeah. It should be, yeah, okay. Let's just add a console out here. Okay. I don't think there's anything to do with card stacks in this system. I don't like there couldn't be, but it's kind of funny. Okay, well, I'm about to wrap. I'll wrap up in about 5 minutes from here. So if you have any other questions, now is the time. we go. Effects, summary. How do you make custom effects? Oh, the same way. So effects are always tied to either an item or to an actor. So you can put an effect on either. This is a character. You can also grab a ship and do the same. So in the modes tab here, there's a little plus icon, and clicking that will create a new one. You can turn it on and off. You can open it up and edit it. New fantastic effect. And then, well, when that's fixed, that will work. Oh, look, that worked. And then in here, to make the effect do something, you can do things like damage, die, like that. And then, so I'll save that. Okay, so then changes is a list of things of attributes or changes that are affecting your sheet. So if you look here, there is nothing. Well, there's nothing here. So if I turn this one on, you should see a damage die 3d4. Here it is. And if I go back to modes and I turn this off, I go back here and it's gone. Does that make sense? Or is there something else about it that you wanted to know? Currently, I don't think there's a way to set them up. So, like for instance, conditions are handled via effect. So right now this is we're on the -2 effect. So if I were to take Rin here and I don't even have a scene apparently. Let's see. Let's create a quick. Oh, here. Let's open a test scene. Maybe it doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. If I was to take Rin here, drag them out here, you'll see that they have the -2. If I come back here, -10. So that's how that's currently handled. I don't think I have a way to make it so that new custom effects do that. But that's definitely something we can add in the future. All right. I am at time. I've been doing this for about 3 hours. So if you have a follow-up question, go for it. Otherwise, I'm going to log off. Oh yeah, I'm getting reminders now. It's time to be done. Okay. Well, in that case, thanks everybody for joining the stream today. If you have any other questions, we'll see. Maybe we'll do this in another 2 months or so, or you can just ask me in the Discord as well, and I'll answer those the best I can. All right. Oh, glad to hear it. All right. Everyone have a good day. We'll hopefully see you again soon. I gotta figure out how to turn this thing off. There we go.